Dear learners, welcome to the new lecture of Engineering Chemistry e-lecture series. In today's video, you will learn about the determination of hardness by EDTA method, which is also known as the complexometric titration method. This includes principle, procedure, and the calculations. As earlier we know that the hardness can be determined by two types of method. One is the Clark's method, which is also known as the soup titration method. Second is the complexometric titration method, that is known as the EDTA method. You can watch details of Clark method in my another video lecture. The link of that video is given in the description box. In today's lecture, we will discuss the complexometric titration method. So let us begin with the complexometric titration method, which is also known as the EDTA method. The principle of EDTA titration method. Basically, this method uses ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, which is known as the EDTA, as chelating agent. This EDTA forms complex with calcium and magnesium ions and other divalent ions, causing hardness in 1:1 ratio. So what is the basis here? Here is the basis that EDTA forms complex with calcium and magnesium ion in 1:1 ratio, and the calcium and magnesium ions are responsible for the hardness. So we can say that EDTA binds the hardness in 1:1 ratio. So the volume of EDTA consumed is directly proportional to the calcium and magnesium ion, and hence the hardness of the water. So by knowing the volume of EDTA used, we can calculate the hardness of water. So before going in the detail of the principle, we must learn about two chemicals. One is the EDTA and second is the EBT indicator. So EDTA is the ethylene diamine acetic tetraacetic acid. This ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, two things are important. One is it is the complexing agent and it is hexadentate ligand. What is the meaning of hexadentate here? That means it has 6 donor atom in its molecule. It is the structure of EDTA, that is ethylene CH2CH2, diamine 2 nitrogen here, tetraacetic acid, 4 acetic acid group here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is the structure of ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Now the donor atom, it has the 6 donor atom. One is this nitrogen, second is this nitrogen, third this oxygen, fourth this oxygen, and this oxygen. So total 6 donor atom it has, and all these 6 donor atoms form bond with the calcium and magnesium ions, because all these 6 donor atom possesses the lone pair of electron. So by donating this lone pair of electron to the calcium and magnesium ions, it forms the complex with the calcium and magnesium ion. So look at the structure here, the complex structure. In this complex structure, we can easily see ethylene CH2CH2, diamine, this nitrogen, tetraacetic acid. Look at here, the nitrogen atom is joined with the 2 acetic acid group here. So this nitrogen is joined with this 2 acetic acid group here. Each acetic acid group having one oxygen as a donor atom, which forms the complex with the calcium or magnesium ion. Here this M stands for calcium or magnesium ion. So in this way, one molecule of EDTA combines with the one atom of the calcium or magnesium ions. So this forms the basis of this titration or this method, because the EDTA consumes equal amount of calcium and magnesium ions. Why? Because it forms the complex in 1:1 ratio. This is the structure of EDTA, calcium and magnesium ion. Two things are important here. One, this complex is very stable complex, and second, This is the colorless complex. Now, second important chemical is the areochrome black tea, which is used as an indicator in this titration. Basically, the areochrome black tea is the azodie compound. In this areochrome black tea, the color of the EBT is the blue in the normal unionized form. But we know with the calcium and magnesium ions. So when it forms the complex with calcium and magnesium ions, it get ionizes. And when it ionizes, it changes its color. So the color in ionized form is the wine red. Why it ionizes? Because here look, there's sodium SO3Na is here. Now sodium get replaced by calcium and magnesium ion. So it remains only the SO3 minus group. So the ionized form, in the ionized form, it is of the wine red color. So it is very important to note here that EBT also forms complex with the calcium and magnesium ion, and the color of the complex is the wine red, and it is the unstable complex. So these two chemicals are very important. Now, two things you must note before start to learn the procedure of this method. First thing is that EDTA and EBT both first form complex with the calcium and magnesium ion. But the calcium and magnesium EDTA complex is more stable than the calcium and magnesium EBT complex. Secondly, the color of the EDTA complex is colorless. That means it has no color. And the color of the EBT complex is the wine red color. So when we titrate the water sample with EDTA, so before starting the titration, the water sample of EBT indicator. See here, buffer solution. Why? Because this titration is carried out at pH 9 to 10. So when pH 9 to 10 is to be maintained, so we have to add the basic buffer solution in this titration. So first we add water sample, buffer solution to the water sample, then 2-3 drops of EBT indicator is to be added. As we add EBT indicator in the hard water sample, since it is the hard, when we add EBT indicator at pH 9 to 10 to this hard water sample, this EBT ion present in the water. So the color of the solution here becomes wine red. Why it becomes wine red here? Due to the formation of calcium and magnesium EBT complex. Now, since please note that now till now we have not started the titration. Only we are doing the mixing of the water sample with buffer and the 2-3 drops of EBT indicator. Since we are adding only few drops of EBT indicator, so it combines with the few calcium and magnesium ions only. That means it does not complexed with all the calcium and magnesium ion present in the solution. So another thing is that then when we start the titration, now the free calcium and magnesium get combined with the EDTA. When we started the titration, the drop wise we start to add EDTA into the conical flow, now combines with the EDTA. Why we are using the word free here? Because few calcium and magnesium ion get consumed with the EBT. Remaining calcium and magnesium ions now combined with the EDTA and forms the complex. We know that the complex of the EDTA with calcium and magnesium ion is the colorless. So now in this solution, two types of complexes are there. One is the EBT complex, which is of the wine red color. Second is the EDTA complex, which is the colorless. So in this, up to this mark, two types of complexes are there. So color of the solution we see here is the wine red. Now the point comes here when all the calcium and magnesium ion get consumed either with the EBT or with the EDTA. At this point, two types of complex. Second is the EBT complex. Now what happens? When we add EDTA at this point? When we add EDTA at this point, since we know that EDTA complex is more stable, so now this EDTA breaks the EBT complex. That means it fetches the calcium and magnesium ions from the EBT complex and forms the EDTA complex with these calcium and magnesium ions. That means now EBT indicator gets free because all the calcium and magnesium ion with which the EBT get complexed. So these calcium and magnesium are now complexed with the EDTA. So EBT indicator is now gets free, and we know that the free EBT indicator color is the blue. So now the solution turns the blue color. The presence of the blue color shows that all the calcium and magnesium ions get complexed with the EDTA only. That means the volume of EDTA now gives the amount of calcium and magnesium ion present in the solution. So by this way, we can determine the hardness of the water sample. So what reagents are required in this titration? Total 6 reagents we are requiring here: standard hard water, EDTA solution, EBT indicator solution, buffer solution, water sample, and boiled water sample. Let us discuss one by one. Standard hard water. What is standard hard water solution? Standard hard water is the standard solution of calcium carbonate. What is the meaning of standard solution? Standard solution means the solution which concentration is known, perfectly known. So that is the standard hard water. That means calcium carbonate concentration. We know the calcium carbonate concentration in the water. So that is the standard hard water. So for preparing the standard hard water, 1 gram of calcium carbonate dissolved in minimum quantity of hydrochloric acid. Why? Because we know that the calcium carbonate is the most insoluble salt in the water. So how we dissolve in the water it? Therefore, first we dissolve it in hydrochloric acid, then residue appears. Now this residue dissolve in the 1 liter of the distilled water to make the 1 liter of standard hard water. So the standard hard water contains 1 milligram per ml of calcium carbonate. This is the very important factor here, that the concentration of standard hard water is 1 milligram per ml. We dissolve 1 gram in 1 liter. So we can say 1 milligram in 1 ml standard hard water, calcium carbonate present in the standard hard water. Second solution is the EDTA solution. To prepare the EDTA solution, 3.7 gram of disodium salt of EDTA is dissolved in 1 liter. Why disodium salt of EDTA? Because EDTA is less soluble in the water sample. In place of EDTA, we are using the disodium salt to increase its solubility in the water. That is why 3.7 gram of disodium salt of EDTA is dissolved in 1 liter to make the EDTA solution for titration purpose. Third is the EBT indicator. EBT, Aerochrome black tea, 0.5 gram of EBT is dissolved in 100 ml of alcohol, and this solution is used as an indicator in this titration. Fourth is buffer solution. To prepare the basic buffer solution, we are using 70 gram of ammonium chloride mixed with the 570 ml of ammonia solution and diluted it to the 1 liter with the distilled water. So in this way, we prepare the buffer solution which maintain the pH 9 to 10. Fifth one is the water sample, for which we have to determine the hardness. Second one is the boiled water sample. Why boiled water sample? To determine the only permanent hardness, we have to boil the water so that the temporary hardness is removed and only permanent hardness remains in the water. So it is used to determine the permanent hardness only. Now, procedure. First procedure point or first step of the procedure is standardization of EDTA solution. What does it mean? It means the titration between standard hard water and the EDTA solution. For this purpose, we are taking EDTA in the burette. In the conical flask, we are taking 50 ml of standard hard water 5 ml of buffer solution to maintain the pH 9 to 10 and 2-3 drops of EBT indicator. So when we add EBT indicator in the standard hard water sample, since we know that standard hard water sample contained calcium ion, so EBT changes the color of the solution wine red because it forms complex with the few calcium and magnesium ions. Now we are starting the titration by adding the EDTA solution. What is the end of this titration? The end of the titration is the color of the solution becomes blue from the wine red. This is the end point of the titration. So why it turns into the wine red? Because all the calcium ion present in the standard hard water now complexed with the EDTA solution and indicator is get free. So the free indicator color shows here the blue. That is why it shows the blue color. Suppose at this time, the reading of the burette comes to the V1 ml. That means 50 ml standard hard water consumes V1 ml of EDTA solution. So this is the first step, that means the standardization of hardness. In this step, we titrate the EDTA with the standard hard water in presence of buffer solution. That means at pH 9 to 10. Total hardness in this EDTA solution. Procedure is the same. In the burette 50 ml water sample indicator, titrated this conical flask content with the EDTA. Here is the endpoint. Suppose this time the reading comes out to be V2 ml. That means 50 ml of water sample consumes V2 ml of EDTA. That means the hardness causing ion present in the water sample is equivalent to the V2 ml of determination of permanent hardness. For this purpose, we titrate the procedure is again the same. 50 ml boiled water sample in conical flask, 5 ml buffer solution and 2-3 drops of EBT indicator. Titrate this solution with the EDTA of the blue color. Assume this time the reading of boiled water sample consumes V3 ml of EDTA solution. So what are the observations we are having here? First, the 1 ml of standard hard water contains 1 milligram of calcium carbonate. Second, the volume of EDTA solution consumed with standard hard water is V1 ml. Volume of EDTA consumed with water sample is V2 ml. Volume of EDTA consumed with boiled water sample is V3 ml. So these are the readings or the observations we are having here. Now the calculation part. In of standardization here, we know that EDTA volume is directly proportional to the calcium or magnesium ions. So we are having the reading in the milliliters here, but the hardness is presented in the parts per million or the calcium carbonate equivalent. So we have to convert this volume into the calcium carbonate equivalents. So standardization means each ml of EDTA is equal to how much amount of calcium carbonate equivalent. So we must know the calcium carbonate equivalent of EDTA. So this is the meaning of the standardization of EDTA, that we must know the calcium carbonate equivalent of the EDTA. So for this purpose, we are using the calculation part here. The 1 ml of standard hard water is equal to 1 milligram of calcium carbonate. We know from the solution part here. Now, when we titrated the standard hard water with EDTA, the reading comes out to be V1 ml. So we can say here that 50 ml standard hard water is equal to V1 ml of EDTA solution. We can write it as a vice versa. V1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 ml of standard hard water. Same thing here. 50 ml standard hard water is equal to V1 ml of EDTA, or V1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 ml of standard hard water. Now, 1 ml of EDTA is equal to, if we want to calculate it for 1 ml, so this V1 comes out here. So 50 by V1 ml of standard hard water. we know that 1 ml of standard hard water is equal to 1 milligram of calcium carbonate. 1 ml standard hard water is of 1 milligram of calcium carbonate. So 50 by V1 is equal to how much amount of calcium carbonate? We have to multiply it. So 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate equivalents. So as we discussed that the standardization meaning is to know the each ml of EDTA is equal to how much amount of calcium carbonate equivalent. So here we concluded that 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate. So this is the standardization. Now coming towards the second part of the calculation, that is the determination of total hardness. We know that 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate. When we titrated of EDTA, so 50 ml water sample is equal to V2 ml of EDTA solution. We can write it here that 50 by V1 multiplied by V2 milligram of calcium carbonate. Why? Because we know that 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 by V1 milligram of calcium carbonate. So V2 ml of EDTA is equal to how much calcium carbonate? 50 by V1 into V2. So here 50 by V1 into V2 milligram of calcium carbonate. So we can write here that 50 ml water sample is equal to 50 by V1 into V2 milligram of calcium carbonate. This is for 50 ml. For 1 ml, this changes to 50 by V1 into V2 by 50. So 50 to 50 cancel out here. And for 1000 ml, we can write it here as V2 by V1 into 1000. Why we are multiplying by 1000? Because the hardness is calculated in ppm, parts per million or milligram per liter. So to convert it into the per liter or ppm, we have to multiply it by 1000. So therefore, the total hardness is V2 by V1. Determination of permanent hardness. For permanent hardness, we titrated the boiled water sample with the EDTA solution and the reading comes out to be V3 ml. So 50 ml boiled water sample is equal to V3 ml of EDTA solution. 1 ml of EDTA is equal to 50 by V1 milligram of 50 by V1 into V3 milligram of calcium carbonate. So we can write here 50 by V1 into V3 milligram of calcium carbonate. 1 ml of boiled water sample is equal to 50 here. So 50 to 50 cancel out calcium carbonate. And 1000 ml of boiled water sample is equal to V3 by V1 into 1000 milligram of calcium carbonate. Why we are converted it into 1000 ml? Because we have to express the hardness in ppm. That is why we have to multiply it here by 1000. So permanent hardness is V3 by V1 into 1000 ppm. And what about the temporary hardness? We know the temporary hardness is equal to total hardness minus permanent hardness. So here the temporary hardness is equal to V2 by V1 into 1000 minus V3 by V1 into 1000 ppm. So this is the temporary hardness. Now, time for the learning check. Read out the question displaying your screen and think for that. In the EDTA titration method for determining water hardness, which of the following statements is correct about the role of Aurechrome black tea indicator? A. It changes color when all the magnesium ion are complexed by EDTA. B. It remains colorless throughout the titration process. C. It forms a wine red complex with calcium and magnesium ions and changes color to blue when EDTA binds to these ions. D. It acts as a reducing agent to aid in the precipitation of calcium and magnesium ions. Yes, correct option. Option A, that it changes color when all the magnesium ions are complexed by EDTA. No, because calcium ions are also present in the solution. B, it remains colorless throughout the titration process. No, we know that the EBT changes the color from wine red to blue. C, it forms a wine red complex with calcium and magnesium ion and changes colors blue when all the EDTA binds to these ions. Yes, it is correct. D, it acts as a reducing agent to aid in the precipitation of calcium and magnesium ions? No, it is not the reducing agent, it is the azodine. So the option C is the correct option. So that's all for today's video. To unlock more awesome content by hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much.